What if I told you one of the best video game systems ever made is one you have probably never played? I am talking about the TurboGrafx 16 or the PC Engine playing behind me here. It is a great system, but the thing is that getting a good quality signal out of one of those systems onto a modern flat panel is kind of difficult. Additionally, they did come out with like a PC Engine Mini and a TurboGrafx 16 Mini, but they are very hard to come by now and very expensive. That is actually what I have playing behind me. Now, what if you want to go ahead and play those TurboGrafx 16 or PC Engine games on a modern flat panel TV? What are you to do? Well, you can go ahead and you can get original hardware, which is going to be pretty expensive. You can get a RetroPie if you want to, but then you can't play actual cartridges or HuCards or PC Engine cards. Or what you can do is pick up one of these here. This is the new RetroN GX from Hyperkin, and this is a clone piece of hardware that's designed to go ahead and let you play original games on updated hardware. Now, this does utilize emulation to go ahead and dump the games into local memory, and then from there you go ahead and play it. Let's go ahead, let's see how this comes out of the box. Let's test it out. This is the box that it comes in, and as you can see here, it does have a quick save feature, save states, load states, and rewind. Pretty small and compact. As you can see, this is actually the size of the unit itself. It's very close in size, quite honestly, to a PC Engine. And then just for comparison's sake here too, you can see the Core Graphics versus the RetroN GX, and pretty similar in size as far as front to back, but the Core Graphics is a lower profile, so important to note on there. Now on the front you do have your connectors for your TurboGrafx 16 type controllers. Also has USB ports, which means we will test it out with some USB controllers. On the back here you do have your Type-C connection for power. Glad to see that they got away from utilizing micro USB for that. They call it HD output, HDMI. 4:3 or 16:9 aspect ratio switch. I will say when I got back into retro gaming, I wanted everything to be full screen. I wanted everything to be 16:9. These games are designed to be 4:3, just as a heads up. And it does actually have a micro SD card in the back right here. So I don't know if that's something that you'll be able to hack down the road so that you can use ROMs and whatnot. Just something to be known. And there is a way that you can go ahead and utilize firmware updates on it then too. The H here does light up, which I'll show you in just a moment. And we have a copy of Bonk's Adventure here, just slides right on in as far as the HuCards go. And it will work the same with the HuCards or the Turbo chips, regardless of region, so it goes right in. I would not classify this as a death grip, to be honest with you. It's not bad at all. We are going to just go ahead here and connect it up to a power supply so you can see how the H lights up. And there you can see, pretty simple and straightforward. Good to see on that. Now, also in the box, you do get a power brick. At least we did. You do get a USB-C power cord. And then you do get Hyperkin's own TurboGrafx 16 controller. What do they call this one? This is the Specialist. I've actually liked this in the past. I've used it and done a full-blown review of it. Check out our review up here in the corner if you want to check that out. It does have a 3-position switch on the 1 and 2 buttons, so you can go ahead and adjust the turbo or turn it off altogether. Pretty decent D-pad on here too, and it does have the humps on the back like many of the other controllers from Hyperkin to give you a little bit more comfort and just something better to grip onto. Now, cord-wise, this is about a 10-foot long cable on here too. So what I'm going to do right now here too is we're going to go ahead and turn on, I'm going to show you how the startup process goes. This is Bonk's Adventure that I have in. You'll see it connect to my capture device in just a moment. Now, this is my AverMedia capture card that we've reviewed here. You can see it flashed up, the name of the game, just a moment ago. Output-wise on this, you're looking 720p. It's not 1080p, which is kind of a bummer, I gotta admit that. Now, I did not show it in the unboxing portion of this. It does also include an HDMI cable. Now, I do have the system right here in my hands. That way, I wanted to show you too that I'm not going through like my RetroTank 5X or 4K. This is coming straight off of the system, going into my capture device. So let's go ahead and let's play some Bonks, because this is such a great, great game. I love this game so very much. Now, I will say I do think the reds are a little bit hot on this. There we go, got that. Audio, I think, sounds good. I mean, unlike some of the NES clones that we've had in the past, there's no like reverse duty cycle issues or anything like that that I have noticed. And quite honestly, the only sort of visual issue that I see right now is just the fact the reds are a little bit hot. This is such a great series too. Now, I have to admit, I'm lucky. I actually have a copy on the Famicom. The NES copy is stupid expensive. Like, I wish that we could just get another TurboGrafx or PC Engine, because it was fantastic when we did. Now, unlike the NES and the Genesis, so this was claiming to be a 16-bit system. I'd call it an 8-bit system on steroids. And the reason why I say that, I don't know why it is not, let me hit those guys. So basically it had twin 8-bit processors that kind of work together. But I mean, it's definitely better looking, I think, than the NES. In some ways, I think it's better than the Genesis too. Up next, this is my copy of Pac-Land, and the interesting thing about this is it's actually the Japanese version of the game. You can see the loading screen here, how it is dumping the ROM. There we go, Pac-Land PCE. There we go. So here's where you can go through and rewind. You can do a quick save, a quick load, save states. You can reset the game. Video options, so you can have smoothing on or off. So there's smooth off, smooth on. I think it looks blurry. Scan lines. I hate scan lines, but we'll do scan lines for this. Or you can do black and white if you want, which is actually kind of neat. Scaling. So you've got 3 different options there. We'll go to that and see what it does. Oh, no. 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 No, no, no. That's okay-ish. You know, one thing I haven't done yet, I haven't done the 4x3 16x9. So there's 4:3, and there's 16x9. So, yeah, not a fan of that. We're going to go back down here to scaling, go back to the original. I like that. And we're going to change our backdrop here in OBS and how we're recording here too. So we just cleaned it up a little bit here in OBS, and we're going to do trip number 1. Oh, nope. You know what I want to do? I need to reset. So can I reset game? Confirm. Oh, that's nice. Since this doesn't have an actual reset button. Okay. So push run button, button control. Lever control. That's what you want on this, so that way you can actually use the D-pad. One of the reasons I love this game so much is it reminds me of the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. It's the same music and theme and everything. And honestly, I think this looks fantastic. Like, I have this on the Famicom as well. Nowhere near as good. I mean, the sprites are just bigger on this. The audio is better. It's cleaner looking. This is, to me, this is my favorite version of Pac-Land. And kind of one of the reasons why I wanted a TurboGrafx 16 as well. Colors, again, look bright and vibrant. The audio sounded great. We'll try a second level here in just a second. Yeah, I mean, I am liking everything that this is doing right now. And I did have a slight, not a compatibility issue, but when I first plugged the HuCard in, it didn't read. So I did have to go ahead and reinsert it. And that took care of that issue. No, 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 no. Ah! We died. Did you know that there was a Street Fighter for the TurboGrafx 16? There is. I bought this the last time I went to the Midwest Gaming Classic in 2023, I believe. And This is actually the first time I'm playing it, so we'll see how it plays. This is a larger game, so interesting that it is taking a little bit longer for it to dump the ROM off of the HuCard. Or is this Turbo Chip? Huh? HuCard, so I think this is actually, yeah, it's actually got Japanese on the side. You saw it said PCE, so it is the PC Engine version. So low punch, I want high punch to be 1, high kick to be that. And we'll see how it plays from there.
Round 1, fight!
Now, I flipped the punch and the kick buttons from where I'd like them to be. I will say the controller doesn't like to roll as much as like a Super Nintendo or a Genesis controller. It was not able to throw the fireball, the Hadouken. Let's see if we can do it now. There we go. Well, we pulled off all the moves. Oh! Zangief got us on that one. Now, I do think that they came out with a 4 or 6 button controller for the TurboGrafx at some point. I don't remember who did, but I do seem to remember that. Plays better than it deserves to. Up next, we're loading up the game that just about everybody had for the TurboGrafx 16, Keith Courage, and I actually got this at our local store, Live Action Games. Now, one of the other things I'm doing, I'm changing up the controller I'm using. This is actually the 8BitDo controller designed for the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. We've got the dongle plugged into the front of the system. Right there you can see, And let's see, start. Now, it's not allowing me to scroll down through this, so that's interesting to note. Now, one thing I don't like about this controller is the fact that turbo is basically just one speed versus the adjustable speed on a real TurboGrafx 16 controller or even the controller from Hyperkin themselves. Very cartoony sort of game, and I will tell you, if you just play this first part of the game, you'll probably be like, this sucks. But what makes this game great is once you get to the second level and you basically get in a mech. This is when the game gets good. Like, they could have reskinned this, quite honestly, and it could have almost been a Voltron game. Button presses, I will say, seem decent. I'm not sure that I think that they feel as precise as the wired controller. There's the benefit of the turbo there. Got a piece of life. Keith Courage working well. The 8BitDo controller working well here too. Like I say, I do think that the wired one did feel more precise though. Here's Victory Run, another very common game for the TurboGrafx 16. Very similar to like an Outrun or even a, what was it on the NES? Rad Racer. Whoa! I have to admit, kind of like Street Fighter, even though I've had this for a while, I don't think I've ever played it. Whoa! Pressing up and down changes the gears. Now this is a game too where the turbo does not make a difference. Downshifting definitely more of a challenge than upshifting. I like this. This is fun. I mean, overall, I gotta say too, the colors, the sound and whatnot, I mean, I am liking what this is doing. Can I tell that I'm on clone hardware? Yes, I can. But is it hideous? Is it something that it is ruining my enjoyment of the game? No, it's not. I'm not feeling, the only lag and latency I'm feeling, I gotta say, is probably more controller related right now. Again, I'm still using the 8BitDo wireless gamepad on here. And to that end, I don't think it feels quite as good as the wired connection. Now, one thing, we're gonna pause, hit both of these, and yep, I still cannot go down and change any of those settings, so that's interesting to note. Kind of disappointing too. This is a turbo pad for the TurboGrafx 16 Classic Edition or the TurboGrafx 16 Mini, and I do have it connected to the USB port. Works just fine there. As you can see, I do have scan lines on. We are turning those suckers off. We're actually going to try smoothing to see how that works. So, not sure that I like the smoothing. To me, this looks pretty blurry. But good to see here. The controller's working just fine. Whoa, went in way too hot there. Screwed up that chicane pretty good. Whoa, that dude came in hot on the inside. Controller works just fine. Final lap working well as well. Well. Up to lucky number 13, and we crashed out because of course we did. So, but we can go ahead and rewind. Hey, check that out. I will admit that I am not one that tends to use save states or features like that rewind, but I'm glad that I was able to right there. If you want to know how popular the PC Engine and TurboGrafx 16 were over in Japan, the fact that Sega put Fantasy Zone on the TurboGrafx 16 and PC Engine should tell you everything you need to know. This is a must-own for this system. Even though I hate it, we're going to go Video Options, we're going to go Smooth, and then we're going to go Scan Lines. I will turn on Scan Lines for you people. And I will tell you too, this is also one of the areas where the TurboGrafx 16 really had an advantage over the Master System or the Mega Drive in Japan, because you had the turbo built into the controller. So you can just sit here and blast enemies away and know that you will have the upper hand. Whoa, except for right there. So what do I think of the system? I have a PC Engine, I have a TurboGrafx 16, and I love them both. And I do have an HDMI adapter for both systems. This is not as sharp graphically as those systems are, but I'm getting this whole system for pretty much less than what I paid for those adapters, so that's something to keep in mind. Oh! Lag and latency, I'm not feeling much of any. I tend to not be as sensitive to that though, so just throwing that out there for what it is, as I'm flying terribly in this. I think the included controller is decent enough. I still prefer the actual TurboGrafx 16 controller, so there is that. But this does work decently. The fact that you do have a USB option to be able to use like the 8-bit DOE wireless controller is nice. I don't think that that controller works as well as the wired controller that comes with the system. The fact that it has that micro SD card on here really has me wondering if the system can be hacked to run ROMs off of the micro SD card, kind of like what you can do on the RetroN 5. I'm not doing side-by-side comparisons because you're never going to have an actual TurboGrafx playing at the exact same time, or a PC Engine, as this. So I wanted more of a, just if I picked up and played, is this something that I'm going to notice graphically is hideous and off, or if there's sound issues or anything along those lines. And just for what it is, playing it as a standalone system, I think it's fantastic. I really hope more people get into the TurboGrafx 16 and the PC Engine. I think it's a fantastic little system. And the one thing right now is the fact that games, a lot of the library is really expensive to collect for. And I know a lot of people will also be asking, what about like whoa, watch out there. What about using something like an EverDrive? I don't own an EverDrive for this. And quite honestly, my thought is if you're going to use a clone system and an EverDrive together, just use a RetroPie. I mean, in the end, you're going to be cheaper off and probably have a little bit of a better experience. But that's just my opinions here. So I gotta say, when it comes to the RetroN GX from Hyperkin, like, it played my entire collection. I love the included controller. I mean, this is one that I have used for quite some time. Not as good as the stock TurboGrafx one, but pretty darn good, I will say that. The fact that it includes, you know, your power brick, HDMI cable, USB-C for power, all that stuff. This is a really nice complete package to get you up and running without anything else to buy but games. You do need to have your own games to be able to take advantage and enjoy this system. But above and beyond that, like, it does everything that I wanted it to do. Will it replace my PC Engine with HDMI output on it? No, it's not going to. But that's because I have a PC Engine with an HDMI output on it. I've already invested in that. I'm invested in the ecosystem there. But for the cost of this, I mean, this really provides a fun experience that I think if you're looking and have been thinking about getting involved in TurboGrafx 16 and PC Engine, you're going to like this. It has a lot of really nice features. I do wish that it wasn't an emulation system. I wish that it was something that read the cards directly and played directly off of them. But I mean, for that, this is a good way to kind of get around that. And I didn't notice a whole lot of issues with it there either. The one thing that was a bit of a bummer was I did feel like the 8-bit DO controller had some lag and latency to it, and I did not feel that when I used this on my TurboGrafx 16 mini controller or mini system. That's I'm not a fan of 8-bit DO as it is though. If you want to pick one of these up, I will have a link down below where you can do so. And one of the things too is CastleManiaGames.com has been carrying these now. Use promo code ROCKSOLID10 to see if you can save 10% off of your purchase. Now, it's not eligible on everything, but it works on a lot of things. Hyperkin, you did a really good job on this. I think this worked fantastically. And it's one of those that, like I mentioned, if you have been thinking about getting into this ecosystem, this is a good way to dip your toes in. And if you love it, that's when you pick up actual hardware. Now, if you do want to check out our full-blown review of the Hyperkin controller that we have here, I'll have it linked for you on screen right now. Check it out. I'm sure you're going to like it. And check this out too. I'm sure you're going to like this as well.